Creating a home service business podcast. So if you're watching this video, you've probably been wondering how to create your own podcast or what to do. Let's start a new one, and I won't cut this because I want you to see the type of things that are going on in the creation of the video. All right, so that was like my first try, didn't work out. I won't cut it, I usually would, but I want to take you throughout the entire process, right? So we'll try again, start from the beginning. Creating a home service business podcast. In this video, what I'm going to talk to you about is my thought process and how I really take an idea from this initial thought or initial idea that comes to mind all the way through the research and all of that. And hopefully you will see the progression throughout the videos and throughout this YouTube channel, where I go about in details on what it's like, like I said, from the idea all the way to execution. Hopefully, I don't know, but as I'm recording this will go live, and hopefully something will come out of it and you'll be able to really gain from it. So to give you a little bit of background about myself, my name is Lior Vaknin. I'm a home service business coach helping home service businesses learn to generate leads themselves without needing to use marketing agencies. Now, up until now, I've mostly focused on really the paid advertisement part, really like the Facebook ads that have performed really well, and Google ads that I'm working with and generating leads. But I myself, am working with a business coach to me and my business. And what basically he told me that, listen, you always want to work in two channels, which is the organic and the paid. And this is, it's funny because this is always what I tell my clients. But in any case, so the paid part is working well, generating leads, generating business, but I also wanted to really create like the organic part. And so that really separates into two aspects. One are the how-tos, or, going into different parts of the business or struggles or pain points that home service business owners have. And the other part, and this is something that I've been, dabbling with for quite a while, is really creating a podcast. Now, last night, I, sat in bed and I was like, okay, I have to move forward with the podcast part. Why? Not just in order to create a content. Obviously, content is a great tool, and it's allowed me to speak to you, the 1 to 100, 1,000 million people out in the internet. But it also helps me learn through conversation and through this whole process, understand better of my clients, their needs, so on and so forth. So first thing, and again, I'm going to show you the entire process, right? So first thing that I do is we're going into the research part, right? So I have this one, I would say, initial idea of the name of the podcast. It's nothing that is, solid yet, but I have this. So what I'm going to do, or what I did basically yesterday, is I went into Google and wrote down home service business podcast, right? So that's the initial part of your research. And so you look up here, you learn a little bit about the landscape here. I went also on Spotify. I saw some other people. And the third part is going into YouTube, right? So when I looked up on YouTube, I found this video with Tommy Mello, who's an entrepreneur, a business owner who grew his garage door service company to over $150 million a year company, which is insane amount. And props to Tommy. I don't know him personally, but good job, man. Really, if you happen to watch this. So watch the video, take notes. I'm taking notes into, okay, what is this guy doing right? What is this guy like what can I, like where is my angle, right? Because you don't want to recycle content, you don't want to recreate it. Now, the lucky thing for me is that I've been doing podcasts for the last 2 years now. True, most of them were in Hebrew, different topics, not necessarily business related, but it allowed me to really gain some experience in learning where my voice is. Now, for you watching this, I think that this is maybe one of the most crucial parts in your, in your process. First of all, if you're not a content creator and you're a business owner, you should. Now, with that being said, you don't want necessarily to do the same thing that all the other guys are doing. You need to find your own voice. What's unique about you? What's unique about your message? Now, with me, I'm personally, and it's always going back into what I'm interested in, I'm more interested in the personal stories, right? So that's the angle that I'm looking for. So the other podcast that I was looking on Spotify, it was just like that the host that was giving, his take on different parts of the business. Here in the Den, this is a marketing agency that, he talks to his client. I think Tommy is his client, or like they're building a relationship, and, like they're trying to cover everything, in a sense. A little bit of sales, a little bit of marketing, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I personally, what I find that I'm really passionate about and I'm good with is like learning about the person behind the brand. Like, who are you? Like, how the hell did you grow up a garage door company, bootstrapped it, grew it into $100 and something million a year business? This is like unbelievable, right? And so, like, I want to know more about your story. Like, what was it about you that really helped you, like, to get to that point? And so that's my personal angle. If you're watching this and you're thinking, okay, I don't know, you need to experiment. You need to try, and you learn in the process, okay? But going through this, going in through like this podcast, all right, taking notes. Now, throughout the podcast, Tommy mentioned a few people that he looked up to, right, in the service business. And so all of a sudden, I find myself, let me go quickly into YouTube. So one of them was Dave Geiger, right? So it's like another super highly successful guy, and he's been around in the HVAC industry for a long time. And so all of a sudden, I'm listening to his story, and he mentions some names and people who influenced him and people who helped him. And all of a sudden, I'm finding myself that I'm researching about really learning better the arts of, the home service as a whole. And what I want you to understand, and this is super crucial, especially if you're like looking for a business coach, or like, it's not a one-time thing that you're just, okay, I'm going to Lior, I'm going to Dave, I'm going to whoever it is, he'll just give me the solution and that's it. I'm going to be from where I'm at today to $500 million net worth, right? It doesn't work like that. So you're gaining and gathering different tools and skills other people before you have gathered. And so what Dave mentioned throughout this podcast is a few of, the people and the brands that influenced him and the seminars that he went through. And so there you go and research those. And I'm most possibly, I'm going to join one of those and learn the business even better. Because in order for you, I feel personally, to be a really successful host and have like really to the point questions and really be able to dive deep into, topics, like you need to be a 360 person, know from every angle. Obviously my angle is marketing, but I want to understand more about the HVAC business as a whole, about the service business which I serve. I want to understand it better. There's much more things that I can improve myself, even though I don't have a plan of building a home service business. I want to understand my clients better so I can serve them better. You understand? And so this is something that, again, you watching this, you need to, I feel, you need to implement this kind of mindset within you in order for you to better understand your target client. And it doesn't mean whether it's content or whether it's, out in the field and doing your work. Like, you always want to improve your ability to understand your potential client. Now, here my potential clients are home service businesses. Now, if I want to bring on, guys like Dave, guys like Tommy, like I want to be really, really sharp. So I want to sharpen my X, so to speak. Like there is this parable where I think it's from China, where they ask, if you have 10 hours to cut a tree, that they ask an old man, how would you do it? So he says, 9 hours out of the 10, I would just sharpen the X. All right, and only in the last hour, I'll chop it up. Because this is, like the 10,000 hour rule, that is spread around the business world, that you need to have 10,000 hours. What was his name? Malcolm Gladwell, right? So 10,000 hours in order to really master a skill. So it's like, I don't know if it's 10,000 or 1,000 or 100,000, but you need to put the time in order to improve yourself. So that's one thing. And obviously, you always have this thought and idea of, okay, how can I fix with the SEO? How can I improve the search engine ranking of this? Like, can I outbid them, just with simple SEO techniques and stuff like that? So yes, bringing those also into the picture, obviously very important, because if the name of the podcast won't answer or won't be, searchable for people in the industry, no one will be able to find it. If the title of the videos won't be searchable, no one would be able to find it. So it's like, you want to obviously always, whatever you're doing, put the marketing lens on and see how you can improve it. But also remember to bring your own personality, bring who you are, and do the research and learn some more. Now, even with this content, this might very well be the first podcast, right? Like the first episode in the podcast. I don't know. But I'm sharing my journey, which is maybe the last and most important part of this video, is share your journey. You don't have to be perfect, right? The same way that I wasn't perfect right at the beginning and I started. And like I said, 99% of the time I would have cut it and it would just, I would leave it on the editing floor. But now I want to document the journey from the beginning. So the same way with you, whether it's you're shooting your video and don't have the good sound, or your video is off, or you're stuttering a bit, it doesn't matter. People want to see the journey. They want to follow you. They want to understand the progression that you're making. And that's really how you build yourself and you build your personal brand. So my name is Lior Vaknin. I hope you enjoyed this one. And that's it. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one. And if you enjoyed this and you feel like this video channel might give you some added value to you, to your business, make sure to hit the like, subscribe, and even leave a comment down below of what you want to see next from me. And obviously, if you're a home service business owner who want to learn how to generate leads yourself without being dependent on home service businesses, feel free to reach out. There's going to be a link down in the description below. Local Service Mastery. That's my program, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Peace.